Sometimes the lack of curiosity can save you. I'm desperate, and I need your help. Please, just listen to my story. It's currently 2:05 a.m., and I'm hiding in my closet. From who or what? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I've never met him or it, whatever the thing is supposed to be, but I'm sure it isn't human. It can't be. And if that thing finds me, I'm dead. I've been through this twice. I know what I'm doing by now, but I don't know how long I can hold on to my sanity. This thing, whatever it is playing with my mind. I want it to stop, and only you can help me. A week ago, my life was normal. I was lying in bed at night, scrolling through social media, when a message came in. An unknown number. I was curious. I always was. But now, I don't think I ever will be anymore. I clicked it. I'll share the message. Read at your own free will. For once you start, you cannot stop. There is no turning back. Good luck. When the clock strikes 2, the game begins for you. The rules are thin, the stakes are high. You play to live, you lose, you die. The path is dark, the prize unknown, but every choice is not your own. So play along, there's naught to do, for games don't end at 2:30. The prize is one you will not keep. It stalks you waking, haunts your sleep. And when you think the night is through, the game resets at 2:30. And your game starts now. Initially, I didn't read the whole message. I stopped after seeing "you lose, you die." Is this a prank to freak people out? Because it sure was working. I could feel a tiny sense of dread creeping up on me. Mind you, I'm not the type to get freaked out easily, so there's definitely something wrong about this, and I didn't like it one bit. I didn't want to continue reading, but for reasons I cannot explain, I eventually gave in and finished the message. Perhaps the message was true. Once you start, you cannot stop. All I could say was that it felt like something was compelling me to look back at the words, to let my eyes glance through every letter, to let my mind process every syllable. I remember I was complaining to my friend about how hot it was, but now the room just felt oddly cold. I got up and shut the window before lying back down on bed, feeling increasingly uneasy. Checking if the front door and all the windows around the house were locked. They were. I glanced at the time on my phone. 23:55. It's probably just a prank, I thought, though it sounded more like a pathetic attempt to console myself. I went back to my phone, trying to ignore the nagging feeling at the back of my mind that something was wrong. Sure enough, I had almost forgotten about it. Almost. Until I walked out of my room at 1:35 to grab some water. And that's when I saw it. A small piece of paper sitting on the dining table. I didn't put it there. I stood frozen in place, staring at it, as my mind immediately went on to generate all the different possibilities to explain its appearance. Could I have forgotten that I put it there? No. There was no reason for me to write small notes. Hesitantly, I walked closer. Close enough to see that there were words on it. The handwriting didn't belong to me, or anyone that I knew. Because I sure don't know anyone whose words look more like hieroglyphic scrawls. I picked it up. It took a while, but I managed to decipher what it said. 2 a.m., 2 rounds, hide and seek. I stared at the paper for who knows how long. Okay. What in the world is going on? If this was a prank, it had gone too far. But even if it was, who was behind it? I heard a soft thud behind me. It sounded too close for comfort, or it might have been my own imagination. I took a deep breath and whipped my head around. Nothing. I looked back at the note. I flipped it over and there were more writings. You hide, I seek. 30 minutes. You win, you live. I see you, you lose. I can't come in. Keep your curtains open. I guess those were the rules of the game. I felt a little relieved. It didn't sound too challenging, right? So at 1:55, I shut off the lights and settled into my closet with my cat plushie peeping out through a tiny hole. I just can't be seen. No biggie. 2 a.m., 2 rounds, 30 minutes each. So this should all end at 3 a.m. I almost giggled to myself at the thought. Was I really entertaining someone's elaborate prank? And so, I waited in silence. 2:08. Still nothing. I almost laughed at myself for being foolish enough to fall for a stupid joke. And then I heard it. A soft, scratching sound. Coming from the window. And I wasn't prepared for what I would see when I peeped through the hole. The outline was the only thing I could see in the dark. The closest description I could give is that it looks like the Slender Man, but not slender and not tall. No, it can't be human. It has no face. Or maybe it was just too dark for me to see. But the body looks a little too disproportionate. Like the arms were too thin and the body too wide. It's like building a snowman and using twigs for the arms, but the arms were long. And the nails clawing at my window? Sharp like claws made for tearing through flesh. Maybe this wasn't so funny after all. And it certainly wasn't just a prank. It moved too naturally to be a puppet, yet too unnatural for a person. I couldn't describe how I felt, just staring at that thing outside my window through the tiny hole from my closet. Perhaps the sight had scared all the emotions out of me. It was just there, clawing for the next 20 minutes. When the clock showed 2:30, it simply left. No, it didn't leave. It didn't walk away. It just vanished. I blinked, and it was gone. Was it over? I exhaled a long breath I didn't know I was holding. And then I heard it again, but this time it was banging on the window, like it was angry. I just hope it wasn't angry enough to break in. 2 rounds. Right. I forgot. And then the banging stopped. I peeped through the hole again, shifting to get comfortable without making a sound. The rules didn't say that I had to be quiet, but I dare not risk it. This time, I wasn't sure if it was the same creature. It didn't look one bit the same. This one had no arms, and the head was... well... It had 2 heads. Or at least, I think those were heads. I couldn't make out any features. It was just standing there outside my window, watching. I don't know what, but hopefully not me. Then it started banging its head or heads against the glass. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't scared, because by then I had figured that I only had to stay out of sight and be quiet, and I'm gonna be alright. At 3, it simply vanished. It should be over, like the rules said, but I stayed inside for 10 more minutes before stepping out, stretching my back. Had I won? But that was the last thing on my mind. I just wanted to fall asleep and hopefully everything will go back to normal once I wake. It didn't. It just got worse. The next day, everywhere I went, I felt like I was being watched. And sometimes out of the corner of my eye, I could see it. A simple shape with 2 heads just standing there watching. But when I turned, nothing. Even the shadows started playing with me. When I was heading home after dark, I could swear that the shadows were moving on their own. No, not moving, shifting, into the shape of a snowman with twigs for arms. This went on for 2 days. I thought I was going crazy. Even my friends noticed my paranoia, asking why I was always looking around, like I was looking for someone. And perhaps I was. Just not someone, but rather something. Then it happened again, 2 nights later. Another note on the same spot with the same handwriting, except this time it was a different game. Guess the color. And on the back were the rules. I knew what I should do. There were only a few things to take note. 1, always read the rules and follow them without fail. I don't know what will happen if you cheat, but I suppose you don't want to find out either. 2, stay as quiet as possible. Maybe it doesn't like noise, who knows? But if you dare, you can try. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Number 3, it doesn't visit every night, perhaps only when it feels bored and wants to play. So if you don't find a note by 1:40, you're fine for the night. Probably. 4, it may be a different game each time. Repeats are possible. It's been a week since the first night, and tonight, it gave me hide and seek again. Hence, I'm sitting here in my closet again, typing this out. I'm convinced I'm going insane. I can't leave my house in the day without looking back over my shoulder every 2 minutes. I'm sure I'm being watched, because tonight, it sent me a new message. You're afraid, aren't you? I see you checking every once in a while. Smiley face. But for the first time, I replied. I don't want to play anymore. How do I get out? I slapped myself internally. Of course there was no way to get out of this. If only this thing would let me off so easily. But still, I wanted to try, even if it would get me nowhere. I waited, staring at the 3 dots. And then a message took its place. Forward the message, and if 5 people read it, congratulations. You've passed it on, and you're free. I'm sorry. I've told you not to read this between 1:30 and 3 a.m. I've given you enough time to prepare, hopefully. I've been through a week of this, and I've had enough. I thought about it for a really, really long time before writing this. But I'm afraid that if I don't, I might completely lose my sanity. I can't eat, I can't sleep. I only hope that after this my life will return to normal. I don't know what the prize is if you win these games, or if there even is any, but I don't think I would ever want to find out. If anyone is brave enough to play till the end, good luck. Because now, it's your turn. Thank you so much for listening to my narration of this wonderful story. Don't forget to support the author, which I have linked in the description, as well as the original story. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my patrons Scott, Old Penguin, Ellie Hutmeyer, Mr. Sankofa, Austin My Love, Rinku Star, William Hartley, Cupcake Hips, Alonzo, Icy Narrates, Jesse Hartley, Eric Cifuentes, Lawrence Wallen, and Melissa Perez. I also try to link a different charity or a different cause every month and maybe a little more. So don't forget to check out the description to support the author of the story you just listened to and to maybe help somebody else out, even if it's just $1. As always, if you guys have a prayer request, please let me know in the comments, shoot me a message on Discord. I would love to know how I can be praying for you. Thank you guys so much. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.